Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Conversations 101. I'm your host, Owen Crawley, here with Steven Edwards, who's a gymnastics coach. He's been for quite a while now, and he's going to tell us a little bit about his experience in that. Steve, you mind just telling us about how you started?
Sure. I actually, growing up in Texas, is a rite of passage. You have to play football. So it's one of the things I grew up playing, football, Pee Wee all the way up into high school. But once I got into high school, I started to realize I didn't run a fast 40 and I wasn't a really big kid. So one of my friends, Javier, and my brother, Donald, was actually cheering at All-Star. Basically what All-Star is, All-Star cheers, where you cheer from, it's more of an outside institution, not like a school, and you go out and you just compete on weekends for trophies, NCAA, Cheer Power, UCA. But that becomes a feeder for college. And being a 16, 17-year-old version of myself, that was fantastic. And eventually it got me a full ride scholarship to Navarro College, prestigious school for cheerleading at least.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit about, when you were in college, how cheering went.
Well, I was 17 in college, free, spread my wings, and I wasn't necessarily the most responsible student. And what it ended up doing is I wasted a lot of valuable time at school, so you could probably tell the kids don't do what I did, I guess. But I found myself moving around back and forth, and I finally got to a place where I was still coaching at the time as a younger coach while even cheering. But it was mostly like tumble classes, stuff like that. It wasn't really big. But then eventually I got to this time where I didn't know what to do with myself, and I found myself just walking into a Marine recruiter's office. And yeah, it was a big change in my life at that point.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I imagine so, going from college, doing whatever you want, to the stringence of the military. So, I mean, how was your experience in the military?
Oh, man. The Marine Corps was a trip, man. It was definitely a life-changing experience, something I wouldn't, really change or trade, and I think it's something that, not everyone has to go through, but with the experience you have, it's invaluable. One of the things that I did, I was a machine gunner, 0331 by trade. I had 3 combat tours and 1 Marine Expeditionary Unit, which is just you kind of float around and you go train with other Marines, other units around the world. I was mostly Pacific Islands, Philippines, Thailand, Australians. But my time in the military was very, very valuable to me, because not only as a man how to move, you always get this sense of urgency and have an eye for detail. I myself, I already think I had that, but man, when it translated to me exiting the Marine Corps and using it as a coach, it changed it entirely, and I got hooked on it, and I became a full-time gymnastics coach eventually.
So tell me a little bit then. I know as you were younger, you did cheerleading. How did you transition from cheer to gymnastics?
Oh man, that's another funny story. So when I exited the military, I ended up getting a job offer back in Austin, well actually in Brownsville, Texas, and I was coaching cheer, tumbling mostly, very simple stuff, round back handspring, drop back handspring tucks. Nothing huge. It's not like the gymnastics you see on TV. But then one day my boss was like, why are these cheerleaders cleaner than my gymnasts? And I'm over there, like, ears open, eyeballs kick, and the kids are saying, yes, sir, no, sir, and they're just having a blast. Well, eventually I got pulled over to coach and work with gymnasts. And the rest is history. I love gymnastics. There's an attention to detail, and there's such a love for the sport these kids have that it's unmatched almost in any other sport.
And so you think that your time in the military is kind of giving you that advantage to be able to help the kids get that attention to detail and stuff?
Yes, sir. And that's something that we were talking about how in Marine boot camp, how the drill instructors would yell out ears, and then the kids would yell open. Well, or we would yell open, the recruits. Well, I use that. And the same thing with eyeballs. So.
Right, and I understand we have a clip of that.
Yeah, we do.
Let's roll that, yeah.
Buddy, you're a boy, make a big noise. Buddy, you're a boy, make a big noise. Buddy, you're a boy, make a big noise. Buddy, you're a boy, make a big
Did y'all have fun in gymnastics?
Buddy, you're a boy, make a big
All right, y'all ready to go home?
In the street, gonna be a
Are y'all
big
tired?
someday you got mad.
So you can see right there, it's the little kids, and there's like one kid, that child there, he's 5 years old. 5 years old. Actually, I think in that clip might have been 4. And you can see how they stand too. It's like, and the parents loved it, So, but the thing was, is that was something that was trained to me as a Marine, not even a Marine yet, as a recruit. That just to always have a keyword for something, always have them doing something, not necessarily busy work, but like a sense of urgency. So even as a coach, as the Marines, they would say ears, you would say open for listening, or eyeballs, we'd all snap our heads and say click to see it. I do that with the kids, and it's almost to the point like they're waiting for it.
Yeah.
So they're always listening and trying to pay
now,
attention.
you'd think being so strict with kids, especially these days, you might scares them off. Do you find that ever?
Okay, so that's a big deal right now, especially with some of the issues we're facing in the sport of gymnastics, and it's a very, very big deal, and it's something I really care about. But there's a difference because there's two schools of thought with how you coach normally, and you have the more democratic kind of, they will sit down and talk with the kids and go over it. I think that's great, but that's not my style. I am a straight, authoritative style of coach. However, I'm not a dictator. I believe that if you're going to be in charge of a program, you need to have everything written down, and you yourself need to have everything in order. And that's something I take from the Marine Corps and bring it in with my style of coaching. And it's produced fantastic results so far. I've actually had job offers for Dubai, Guatemala. I've worked in Minnesota, California. So it's built a lot of experience for me, and I think without the military's training or my experience in the Marine Corps, it would have never been possible.
Steve, thanks for telling us about your coaching style and kind of your experience in getting into it. I hope your gymnasts go far in the future, and thanks for talking to me today.
Thank you for having me.
Okay. All right, and thank you for watching Conversations 101 tonight. I'm your host, Owen Crowley. Be sure to check out our other videos on YouTube, and have a great night.